would you look at that? This video is being run at what the Switch 2 can output in the dock. Yeah, 4K 60. This video is running at 4K 60. I don't think I did a review of the Switch 2. I did a review of Mario Kart World, but not the Switch 2 itself. So let's do a review on the Switch 2. Firstly, let's compare it with the Switch 1. This is Switch 1, Switch 2. Definitely much bigger. You can definitely tell. Now, I do not have the OLED. Kind of wish I did. I wish I did have the Switch 1 OLED, but I've had this since December of 2017, so yeah. Feeling this again, wow, feels weird and different. So, yeah, this is much smaller. These are much smaller. Like, wow, these are way too small. These are too small. Pretty hard to press, too. Mushy. Sliding rails I don't really like. And smaller, worse looking screen. Shitty kickstand. And all of those were improved on in the Switch 2. So, let's get into the Switch 2. And not really compare it with the Switch 1, but do more about the Switch 2. So I got the Switch 2 Mario Kart World bundle and a Pro Controller as well. So let's talk about the Pro Controller first. I have never actually had a official first-party Pro Controller until now. I usually just go for the third-party ones because of the gimmicks they have. I have two Switch 1 Pro Controllers, one that's transparent with lights, one that's styled like a GameCube. But this, oh my god, it's so good. This is one of the best controllers I have ever felt. The joysticks, oh my god, they feel so good to click down. They feel so good, the shoulder buttons, the triggers. And the whole reason I got the Switch 2 Pro Controller is because I saw, like, oh, there's the programmable back buttons on here. And that's, like, my light-up controller that I have has these two. But what it doesn't have is the headphone jack right there. And so that is what made me get the Pro Controller. It just feels great. Like, oh, it feels so good. I only have one real issue. I don't like the feel of the face buttons right here. They feel a little mushy. Like, I don't really like these face buttons. And I heard from Scott the Woz that he thinks that the Switch 1 Pro Controller was one of the best controllers ever that he had. And then he had this and it was even better. So, like, yeah, I've never felt a Switch 1 Pro Controller. I did not get the camera with it. I can definitely see myself getting the camera down the road someday. But right now, $55 for that is a little too expensive. So let's get into the Switch 2 itself. Much better kickstand. This is way better. Not as good as the Switch OLED, but, like, it's just as sturdy as the Switch OLED. In fact, maybe I prefer it because you could hang it up on a wall with it like this, if you wanted to. Now, it does have, I think, 256 gigabytes of internal storage. And because I usually just get physical games, I do not need an SD card for now. I have 133 extra gigabytes of storage. I'm going to do some research. Like, after seeing the trailer today, I might get Donkey Kong Bonanza, whatever it's called. And if it's a virtual game card, I'll just do digital. If it's not, I'm going to do a physical copy. But, yeah. Much bigger, more comfortable Joy-Cons. Like, this more rounded on the end, too. And the screen, oh my god, it is so nice looking. It's amazing. I just love it. You have to see it to believe it. And, like, even though, like, Mario Kart World in videos I've seen does not look very, like, it doesn't look like a looker, really. You have to see it to believe it, because it looks incredible on here. It's just a 1080p screen, it's not 4K. We haven't even gotten to that part yet. But, the new and improved Joy-Cons, definitely really good. And I find myself often just like playing with the Joy-Cons because they are really comfy to play with now. Like, this is just super easy to put on. Way easier to put on than the old Joy-Con wrist straps. And these feel really good. With the new SR and SL shoulder buttons too, they are much better. I remember when I first saw the reveal trailer, one thing I noticed was these things on the top right here. To me, they looked like triggers, so you could play games that supported, or you could play more games supported like this, because then it would have the dual trigger things. Oh shit, yeah. But I was wrong. It's just for that. And like, I never noticed the IR camera thing, or the IR blaster, IR sensor, bleh, whatever it is, until people pointed it out. I didn't notice that in the trailer, but like, that is pretty cool too. Just the fact that you can use it like a mouse is pretty dumb, I'd say, but like, it's cool that you could if you really wanted to. And let's talk about the grip. Oh, that was satisfying. Yeah, that was good. It is a little weird that there are not these on the edge, but I thought I would notice them a lot more when I play like this, but I really don't. I'm actually surprised. And this just looks so much sleeker and blends so much better together than the old Switch 2. Not the old Switch 2, the old Switch 2. TOO versus TWO. Yeah. It is also really nice that there is the charging port on the top. I do like that, so you could have it in the kickstand mode while it's still charging, because that was an issue with the old one. Because like, I don't often play docked. I don't really use the docked mode very much. When I do, it's usually for like recording videos, and even then it's shitty when I do record videos. If you've ever seen my gameplay videos, I don't know why my gameplay videos are shitty. It's either the camera app or the capture card. It has nothing to do with what it's on. But let's talk about the dock now. Let me grab it. Got to have everything plugged in. So this is the dock, the cover, and I don't know how I feel about the cover having to come off. Like, because with the old Switch, it was a flip down thing. Mine broke off a long time ago, though. Just like my Switch, in my kickstand on my old Switch too. So yeah, but like, it's not like you're gonna be constantly needing to adjust the cords on here, so I'm fine with it. It does have a little bit extra kick to it, being able to output 4K, which is what this video is running at right now. It's running at 4K 60, as I've stated earlier. So yeah, that is pretty cool. Now let's get into my gripes for the Switch 2, because I've been praising it so far. I have a lot of issues. If you watched my Mario Kart World video review, which you probably didn't, because it's really only my shorts that get views. But I completely forgot to mention that the charger is just a double-ended USB-C cable with the AC adapter disconnecting. Didn't even mention that. I kind of forgot. Yeah, I like that too. It's just way more compact, and then I could just, like, if I know someone who has a USB-C cable, I could just bring the power brick and not have to worry about it. That's what I like about that. Yeah, let's get into my gripes with the Switch 2. Price. Yeah, $450 is a little bit much. I didn't expect it to be that much. But it is pretty impressive, I'd say, graphically, power-wise, what it offers. Yeah. And the fact that you have to pay to use the online chat, but like, what people are forgetting about is that you don't have to pay for game chat and Switch Online separately. They are together. And so if you're if you're using game chat, you already have Switch Online, which I think is dumb that you have to pay to play online, considering the fact that you already have to pay for having Wi-Fi in your house. It's extortion. I hate the Switch Online, but what can you do about it? So, like, yeah, it's dumb. But you're already paying for Switch Online if you're going to use game chat. The game prices, $80. Whew, if you, like I mentioned and forgot about, if you saw my Mario Kart World review, you know that I do not think it's worth $80. At most, it's worth $60. And if they end up adding free updates down the line that adds more characters, more tracks, then I'd say it's worth it. But as it stands right now, it's not worth $80. It's worth $60, aka the standard game price that games have been for decades now. Or no, I think they were $50 up until, like, after the PlayStation and PlayStation 2, they were $50. I think it was with the PlayStation 3 it started to be $60. I could be wrong on that, correct me if I'm wrong. I do like a lot of gaming history, but I'm not a gaming historian. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong on that. $80, that's ridiculous. $70 pushing it. Like, in my opinion, Tears of the Kingdom was worth $70 with what I got out of it. Mario Kart World? No. But I already talked about that, so go into my Mario Kart World review if you want to hear more. So let's talk about the upgrade pack things. They're alright. Like, I got Hogwarts Legacy, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom. I wasn't originally going to do Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom because I was not actively playing either. But I got it. But I got Hogwarts Legacy first because I'm still playing that and working through it. Hogwarts Legacy on Switch 1 runs at 720p, 30 frames per second in handheld mode, and 1080p 30 in the dock. On here, it's 1080p 60 in handheld and 4K 60 in the dock. And it is so much better looking. I could count the pixels in the original, or in the Switch version. On here, it's so crisp, so much better looking. And it still doesn't look as good as the PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X versions, but it does look much, much better than the Switch 1. I'd actually consider the Switch 1 version to be a demake, because it's demaking the original game. And for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, it being, like I said, I didn't want to get it because I had already, I wasn't actively playing through it, but I still got Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom's upgrade packs, and I played through a bit of it. It's so crisp and detailed, and it also is running so much smoother. I love that so much. Tears of the Kingdom, my Switch could barely run it, and I imagine me playing Tears of the Kingdom on here, it'll be perfectly fine. But it was paying $10 to take advantage of the hardware that's already there. What do I think of that? Not really great. I don't like that, really. The fact that it's, you have to pay $10 for it, and they have to pay for the freaking tutorial for the console. Yeah, that's also dumb. That's one thing I will not budge on. I have no reason to get it if it's just a tutorial. If it was something where I could replay it, then yeah. But this is so buttery smooth. And if I'm going to be honest with you guys, I do not like 120 frames per second. Because when I look at something that's 120 frames per second, like on Hogwarts Legacy on the PS5 or Xbox Series X, I'm like, God, this is hurting my eyes. I do not like 120 frames per second. It is too smooth in my opinion. The human eye can only process up to 60 FPS properly before it starts to look weird. And like when I see, like I mentioned in my Hogwarts Legacy review a couple weeks ago, that like in the other versions they just looked like animatronics to me. In the Switch 1 version, it didn't really look like they were animatronics as much, and same thing with the Switch 2 version. But yeah, I don't like 120 frames per second. It's too smooth for me. 60 is my sweet spot. And so, like seeing Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom in glorious 1080p HD and running at twice the frame rate. Oh my god, it's so crisp and looks so much better. I love it. Just pops more. And one more thing I want to mention is the fact that a new set of Joy-Cons is, I think $90. This was $85, I'm pretty sure. Although I got my Pro Controller via Target, and so after everything, I saved nearly $5 on this Pro Controller, and $25 on the console. It's like, yeah, a lot of people had issues with Target. Okay, why this has been out of focus for a while, I think. Yeah, there we go. A lot of people had issues with Target. I didn't. I had issues with Best Buy and GameStop from what I tried. I tried Target. I was able to get a pre-order, and so I got mine through Target, and I used my Target Circle card and on both the Switch 2 and the Pro Controller. $30. And like I'm not sponsored or anything, but you should get a Target card whether or not you go to Target often. I don't, and I haven't. It's worth it. 5% savings on all purchases. You get cash back if you want to on in-store purchases. Free shipping. That's a big thing. Yeah, I'm not paid or anything. I'd love for them to pay me. Like I also do want to mention one other thing about the Switch 2 is that I don't really care about it being able to output at 4K, because what's a 4K TV? I don't think there is one in my house. There might be the one in the living room that might be 4K. I'm not sure. I'll have to check. But like, I do not really care. I mainly play on my desk here with a shitty, probably 15-year-old monitor. I don't even know how old this sucker is. But I have it hooked up to my laptop via a capture card, and then runs through my laptop, and I use the camera app because that's all I know how to use. And then I plug in a speaker that I have under my desk to my Switch 2. It is not very convenient. I actually really want to get a good computer. I really want to get a good computer, but I can't afford one. I would love to get one. I should. Just can't afford one. Which sucks, because I've been wanting one for years. There's nothing I can do about it. Unless someone watching this video is willing to send me $1,600 or something. Or like two grand. That's what I would probably build a computer with. $2,000. Yeah. I'll get it done eventually. I'll probably be in my mid-30s when I have enough money, though. Sadly. But hey, I've been wanting to do it for a while, so yeah. Anyway. You probably didn't watch this video for me to watch me complain about my financial situation. But what can you do? So yeah, thanks for watching. These are my thoughts on the Switch 2. Is it worth for the $500 bundle? I'd personally say yeah, to be honest. Like even $450 by itself, I'd say it's worth it because the new improvements that it does are really good compared to the Switch 1. And like another thing I really love is that this is just held by magnets. There's nothing else but the magnets holding it together, and yet it's extremely sturdy. Like Takes a bit to get it off, but just simply pressing that releases the tension. It's pretty wild. And it's just so satisfying to just click it right in. One other thing I do want to mention is that I had an issue with transferring my save data. It just couldn't transfer. And so then my mom and I were on customer service for like an hour and 20 minutes trying to figure it out. We were actually probably closer to an hour and 30 minutes. It was a long time trying to figure it out. And we had to like update my account information. And so fix some things that I wanted to fix. Because like I was worried if there'd be something wrong with the system transfer. And I was right. Weird how that works. But because like had to change some things with my with the system and the account, and eventually I got it and everything was transferred. And then I had to go, the data transfer started, and then I had to go to a dentist appointment. So while I was at the dentist appointment, I was honest with the dentist. I was like, I'm excited to get home to play the Switch 2. And so then as soon as I got home, bolted and grabbed the Switch 2 to finish the transfer and the setup, and yeah. But yeah, it was it's great to now have this, and saying goodbye to my Switch 1. I won't sell it, I don't think. I've had it for nearly 8 years, and so it's like selling it would just be kind of an insult to all those years spent with it. Yeah. So I don't really want to get rid of it. Thanks for watching this video.